Welcome back to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're honored to be joined by our next guest, both with Concord Academy. We're joined by Nan Miller, the event director, and Cece Palazola, executive director. How are you two lovely ladies doing?
Doing great.
Doing great. Thanks, Jeremy.
So let's start Concord Academy. Let's start with a little bit of a history lesson, so to speak. So Cece, let's start with you. Give us some history and also obviously dive into the purpose for Concord Academy.
Of course, thanks. So Concord Academy was established in 1983 by a group of parents who were not happy with the choices for their students who had learning differences. So they got together and started the school. It is very small. We're starting to call ourselves a micro school now. It is a very...
well, it's a special place. I mean, when you look at what you're dealing with and on your end, the students, and go ahead and illustrate the students that you work with, because as you mentioned, learning differences, but it's things like dyslexia and anxiety and depression. And so students are coming in where they need support. They need the smaller classroom sizes, like you mentioned. They need a little extra love. And so talk about the students that you work with.
That's exactly right. And the word I was looking for was supportive environment. Earlier. So yes, our staff is very devoted to working with them, making sure they have all the tools that they need to be successful. We have kids, as you mentioned, a few of the disabilities that we work with here. We have quite a few students that are on the autism spectrum. So just all the different types of neurodiversity that you can think of, we work with here. And the idea is to support them so that they can become more independent, more successful, and when they leave us, they're ready for the real world.
Yeah, talk about the grade levels and the ages of the students that you work with.
Sure. So we start with middle school with grade 6, and we go up through high school. We do offer a high school diploma track, and we also have some of our students that do what we call a special ed diploma. So we have both options for students, and the graduates might come or might go to a 4-year college. They might go to what we call a para-college program like Tiger Life, or just anything in between.
They also go to like community college. A lot of the kids will go to a technical school. And really the goal, and I think Concord does such a good job of meeting each student at whatever level they are when they first come, and then help them get to whatever level that they are able to get to. But, really want them to be successful in life, and that's different for each child, but really the staff works so hard, and so do the students, to be able to get our kids out into the community and to be productive citizens and out working. And working looks different for each one of them. Some of them work 5 days a week, some of them volunteer 2 days a week. So
share what that means for you in terms of staff and your team, the specialization, and like you mentioned, the individualized education plan and how you approach each student, because to your point, it has to be very customized and individualized to make sure that each student is able to achieve personal success.
Absolutely. So one of the things that makes us really unique is all of our teachers are special ed teachers. So, not a lot of schools have an entire staff of special ed specialists. So our teachers know how to modify things or get through in different ways. They have a really deep understanding of child development and things like, all the different multiple intelligences and how to individualize things for a child who might be a visual learner or an auditory learner, or some combination thereof. But
talk about the individualized plans, because when you talk about how do you achieve success with each student, walk us through what that looks like in terms of
right. So an individualized education plan, or IEP, is developed for each child in cooperation with their parents and other professionals. So you had mentioned before the specializations. We have a behavior analyst that works at the school and sits in on a lot of those IEP meetings. We actually now have an IEP specialist that her entire job is to monitor those IEPs and make sure that we are serving each and every student individually and where they need to giving them what they need to be successful. Of course, we involve the parents because, they know their child better than anyone. So we look to them as experts on, insight to their child and what makes them tick and what's going to be successful, maybe things that they've tried or schools that they've been to and different approaches that might work.
Yeah. Talk about technology, and especially right now with the impacts of obviously COVID-19, how has that shifted and what does technology mean on your end now?
Right. So we already had quite a bit of technology in the school. All of our teachers have smart boards or the interactive whiteboards, and we were almost at a one-to-one type situation with mobile devices. So we have lots and lots of laptops, iPads, all kinds of learning devices, and we were already using those before COVID hit us. And we are actually getting proposals right now together to get more technology, and our end goal would be to have a device for every child that is theirs while they're here, take it home with them, come back with it. They can do their assignments on there. We just recently launched, or in the spring, launched a learning management system where they can log in and see everything they need to do. It's very visual and colorful, and each class has a little block that they look, all they have to do is click on the block to get their biology work or their homework or their assignments. So we really want the technology to be integral to what they do every day. Obviously we all live in a very digital world, and it has become even more digital in recent times. So our kids really have to have those skills and to be successful in anything that they do.
Yeah. For each one of you, give me one thing that you wish everyone knew about Concord Academy. So what's one thing you wish everyone knew?
Nan, you go first.
Gosh, I wish that everyone knew what a difference it can make in their child's education. I've seen so many kids that come in 6th grade or 9th grade or whatever level, and just the transformation that we see in that student, because so often when students come to Concord, they've been told no so many times, or they have just been, their self-esteem is so low because they have just not been successful. So once those teachers work with that child and help them believe that they really can do it and find the key that unlocks their learning style, and then they flourish, and just seeing those children flourish and seeing the parents and how happy everyone is. And I wish that everyone out there knew about Concord, and knew that if they have a child or a student that would benefit from Concord, that they knew about it, because it's a wonderful place.
Cece, what about you?
Well, I think one of the really cool things about Concord is that when new kids come in, when we get new students, they are, tentative at first, but then it's as if they have found their tribe. And it's just a beautiful thing to see when they realize, they may have come from an environment where they were the only child struggling, or one of the only children struggling. And for them to see others that are like them, and that they're, they can be friends, and they can, just relate to somebody that has the same, the same challenges that they have, is just a beautiful thing to see. And some great, beautiful friendships have come out of that.
So let's talk about community support, because obviously that's integral to what you do. So Nan, let's start on your end. You have a golf event coming up. It's an opportunity to plug in at TPC Southwind, and this is coming up Monday, September 21st. So go ahead and dive into this event.
Yes, it is. We have this is our 3rd annual golf tournament, and it's at as you said, it's at Southwind. Registration's at 7:30. It's a scramble, 4-man scramble, and they tee off at 8:30. It's been a lot of fun, and this year's going to be a lot of fun as well. I've ordered a beautiful day weather-wise, so don't worry about that. And it's, last year we had about 24 teams. So far we have about 18 teams signed up, so there's room for a couple more teams. It's $200 a player or $800 a team, and it includes beverages, and when you first get there in the morning, some little libations to get you going. It has free beer all the way through, and then it includes lunch, which is being provided by Foxwoods Pizza. So we're excited about that, and it's just, we have a chance for $10,000 for a hole-in-one. And then there's chance for a putting contest. You have a chance to win $5,000. And then we also have the golf ball cannon, which is a lot of fun. So you get a chance to shoot a golf ball out of a cannon, which gets you right down there at the green, which if you're always is helpful, even with the scramble, to get that easy point there. So it's a lot of fun. So we would love to have some additional golfers or either sponsors. If any of the companies are out there interested in sponsor, this year it's being sponsored by Gerber Taylor. And we have a lot of sponsorship opportunities that they can go on our website, which is www.concord-academy.org. And there's information there for sponsorships or players. We would love to have y'all.
Talk about, Cece, other ways that companies and individuals can participate, either through volunteerism, obviously financial contributions. What are some other ways throughout the year that people can participate and help your efforts?
Right. We are so fortunate to have quite a few community partners, and we are always looking to cultivate more. But the ways that community partners help us are many and varied, but one of the things that comes to mind in particular is our seniors have mock interviews each spring. And so we ask for community partners to come in and really sit down with our seniors and interview them as if they were applying for a job at their company. And of course, a big part of our curriculum in the spring with our seniors is just that, preparing for that interview, getting their resume ready, and talking about those soft skills that they need to talk to somebody in an interview, those kinds of things. And then after the mock interviews, we have placements out in the community, God willing, with the current situation, but they go out and do internships. And so we have quite a few partners there. We have a pretty sizable senior class this year, on Concord scale. So we will be definitely looking for community partners that are open and need some help and have that mindset of, giving back and helping one of our students, really learn the skills that they need.
Talk about the financial, because to Nan's point on the golf event, you need the funds, because what it costs you to run the school and the program versus what you're able to necessarily charge the parents and the families, those are two different numbers. And so being able to make up that gap is extremely important. Talk about the financials on your end.
Sure. So it's very important to us to keep our tuition at an affordable level. And I would say, I just actually saw something that's about to come out in one of the major magazines in Memphis, and that has all the, the tuition for a lot of the private schools. And I would say near the, the bottom part of that in terms of affordability, we're lower. So because of that, the tuition actually covers only about 75% of our expenses to run the school and educate our students. So we look to make up that difference through our fundraising. Some of it is through Nan and her efforts with our 3 big events each year. But we also, we also apply for grants and, things like that. And we've got a couple of, nice supporters that, will support us each year, but we absolutely have to make that up you know, with just everyday people that believe in what we do. Some of them are connected to the school. They might be alumni or parents of alumni, parents of current students, just people that have, you know, connected with us and have learned what we do and really feel strongly about supporting our mission. So that's, it's, you know, it's a never ending, you know, we're always out there trying to spread the word and demonstrating to people what we do and getting them on board with supporting us.
Well, Nan mentioned it before, but go ahead and mention again the website, social media, phone number. Where do we go to learn more?
It is concord-academy.org. And you'll see a lot of information there, information about our events, the golf tournament, of course, being the next one that is coming up in September. There's a button to, you know, you can explore around and find out more about the school. There's contact information if you want to learn more about either becoming a community partner or if you have a child or know a child that would benefit from our programs. There's also a donate button right there on the screen as well. So if you are, you know, want to support our mission, then it's very easy to just click through and take care of it right there on your computer or laptop or device. So
you make it easy. Well, Nan, Cece, thank you for all you do. Thank you for coming on the show. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Have a great day.